Why should a president intervene in a case involving two members of BTS? What really happened to cause such an uproar worldwide? This question has become the main focus after the president of South Korea issued a stern warning to military officials regarding the assault experienced by Jungkook, one of the BTS members, during his mandatory military service. If you don't believe it, please leave a positive comment, and we'll discuss whether it's true or not. Thank you. This case is no longer just an internal military issue. The involvement of Jimin BTS, who is stationed in the fire department, FDC, unit, in a secret meeting with the president adds another layer of mystery that fuels public curiosity. Is this the beginning of a major change, or merely a concealed political stage? The story begins when a shocking report about the mistreatment of Jungkook surfaced. As a military cook, he became the target of intimidation and abuse by a senior soldier. This incident involved verbal insults, degrading orders, and even alleged physical violence. Why was Jungkook targeted? Many speculate that his status as a global idol sparked jealousy and discrimination. However, the public feels that the punishment for the perpetrator has not been sufficient to achieve justice. When Jungkook was granted temporary leave from his military service, the decision raised even more questions. Was this to protect him from further threats? Or is there another strategic reason planned by the military? In the midst of the controversy, Jimin BTS took a surprising step. He met directly with the president of South Korea. Why did Jimin feel the need to involve the president? Did he bring a special message from Jungkook or new evidence that could change the course of the case? Jimin's action has received both praise and criticism. As a close friend of Jungkook, he is praised for his courage in defending his friend. However, some believe this action was too dramatic, even crossing the line as an active soldier. What happened during that closed-door meeting? According to early reports, the president not only discussed Jungkook's case, but also shared his views on BTS's role as global cultural ambassadors. Surprisingly, the president reportedly asked Jimin to convey an official message to the public. What was the content of the message? And why was the meeting held privately without transparency? Reports from anonymous sources suggest that the president directly reprimanded military leaders over the bullying case. This reprimand not only highlighted the incident involving Jungkook, but also criticized the military culture, which was seen as failing to protect young soldiers. Did I ask this a symbolic gesture or the beginning of real reform? Observers are skeptical. They demand concrete proof in the form of new policies to prevent similar cases in the future. Without decisive actions, this meeting could be seen as a mere political move. The president's decision to personally address this case has sparked various speculations. Some observers view it as a political effort to improve the image of a government currently facing a scandal. Using BTS's popularity as a political tool has been one of the accusations leveled. However, others see this as an important step toward reforming the South Korean military system. Does the president genuinely care, or is he simply exploiting the situation? The lack of transparency in this meeting only adds to the suspicion BTS fans, known as ARMY, are not standing by idly. They have launched a global campaign to support Jungkook and demand justice. International media outlets such as BBC and the New York Times have also covered the story, making this case a global focal point. However, a new question has arisen. Does the involvement of media and international fans help or complicate the situation? South Korea is now under global scrutiny, with many calling for reforms in the military system. Even though Jungkook has been given leave, the big question remains: will he return to his position as a cook or be reassigned for his safety? Meanwhile, Jimin is expected to remain focused on his duties, but his new role as the president's spokesperson seems likely to drastically change his life. This case has evolved from an incident of bullying into a national issue with international impact. All eyes are now on the next steps of the South Korean government. Will this lead to a major reform moment, or is it just a storm in a teacup? One thing is certain: the world will keep asking, what really happened in the secret meeting between Jimin and the president? And what will the government do to change the face of the South Korean military in the eyes of the world? Do you believe everything you read about this case? Did the events involving Jungkook and Jimin BTS really happen? Or is it all a fabrication? The world of entertainment and politics often serves as a stage for seemingly extraordinary stories. But is this one of them? The bullying case against Jungkook that allegedly prompted the president of South Korea to intervene directly sounds like a movie script. However, is this truly a real event or a maneuver designed to attract public attention? Before we draw any conclusions, let's think about some big questions. Does this all make sense? Who really stands to gain from this story? Let's start at the beginning. Jungkook is said to have been bullied by a senior soldier during his mandatory military service. Physical abuse, verbal insults, and degrading orders are said to be part of the incident. But did this really happen to the extent we've heard, or is it exaggerated because of his status as a BTS member? Why is this case only coming to light now? Mandatory military service in South Korea has long been known for its strictness, yet bullying issues rarely receive this level of attention. Is it because Jungkook is a global idol, or is there something bigger at play behind the scenes? If it did happen, this is certainly a serious matter. But if it didn't, could it just be a media strategy to create an intriguing narrative that stirs public emotions? What really happened to Jungkook, and why aren't we getting more details from the military? When Jimin met directly with the president of South Korea, the public immediately reacted. However, the reaction was split into two camps, those who praised Jimin's bravery and those who questioned his actions. Is Jimin's action truly about defending his friend, or is there another hidden agenda behind it? Let's think about this. In a military system that is famous for its discipline and hierarchy, how could a soldier, even a big celebrity, gain direct access to meet with the president? Is this normal? Did the president really give such attention to this case for moral reasons? Or is something more political at play? And why was the meeting held behind closed doors? Shouldn't transparency be part of the reforms they claim to be aiming for? Is there something being hidden from the public? If this is truly about justice, why do all the details feel so mysterious? When the president of South Korea reportedly reprimanded military officials, the public was again shocked. This reprimand was seen as a major step in highlighting the bullying culture in the military. But is this a sincere move, or just an attempt to improve his political image? In politics, such steps are often used to divert attention from other issues. Could it be that the president is using BTS's popularity to gain public sympathy? With scandals involving his administration in recent times, is this just a way to create a positive narrative in the midst of a crisis? We must ask, why is so much focus placed on this one case? Does this mean there is a plan for widespread reform, or is it just a sensation that will fade once new news breaks? The role of media and BTS fans in this case cannot be overlooked. ARMY, with their global campaign, has helped ensure the case does not go unnoticed. But we must ask, has the pressure from ARMY and international media coverage really helped uncover the truth, or has it only complicated the situation? As this news began to attract international attention, some major media outlets started covering it. But is all of this news accurate? Is there a bias in the way this story is being presented? Are there parties manipulating information for certain benefits? And what about the military? They've issued official statements about this case, but why haven't they provided more specific details? Does this mean they're trying to cover something up? Or is there another reason behind their closed stance? The most important question is, do you believe this story is true? Or is it just a narrative deliberately created to capture attention? In a world where news is often influenced by specific agendas, we must ask ourselves, does this story reflect reality, or is it just a sensation designed to stir up our emotions? As readers, you have the right to question everything. Is Jimin's meeting with the president truly about fighting for justice, or is it just a symbolic move with no real impact? Is the bullying case against Jungkook a reflection of systemic issues in the military, or just an individual incident that's been exaggerated?